Let's go next to our caller from the 650 area code. Who's calling today from 650?
Hello, is this me?
That is you. Yeah, who's this?
All right, so I'm Luke. I'm from the Bay Area,
Hey,
and
Luke.
at least by Bay Area standards, I'm a bit of a moderate, but I guess in the grand scheme of things, I'm pretty progressive.
All right.
And so my question is about like the feasibility of the progressive plans long term. Like I've seen your videos about like how like say a Sanders administration would like pay for the things like Medicare for all and the Green New Deal and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I think don't we have to like take into account like the American politics when we're thinking about these policies? So it's like Bernie is, I would say, like pretty far on the left of mainstream American politics.
On what issue?
So I worry that
Hold on, Luke.
you
Let's
know
explore that. On what issue is Bernie very far to the left compared to the American population?
no not population politics, like in how politics is going.
So you're saying, I just want to, you're saying compared to the elected officials in the House and Senate,
Yeah,
Bernie is to the left?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I would grant that. I would say you're right that the public at large is well to the left of the average of
Oh
our House
yeah,
and
yeah,
Senate.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And so like, but like that's still kind of worrying to me because like say like Bernie gets in and like creates like some great progressive policies and has ways to pay for it. But let's say like a few years down the line, there's a Republican that gets elected, and because like it's very hard to scale back federal spending from previous administrations, he or she's unable to do that. I'm talking about the Republican,
Right.
and they just come up with tax cuts because that's politically popular, and that seems to have always been politically popular. And so then we continue to this trend of where some Democrat gets in and kind of creates a change of progressive policies and increases spending, and then Republicans just come in, don't have ways of decreasing spending, but like they cut taxes.
They cut revenue and then they can
Yeah,
starve programs. Well,
yeah,
I
and like
would
it seems
challenge
like
you
yeah.
on the idea that you said this continues the trend of progressives getting in and doing progressive stuff, and then Republicans come in and then they cut revenue. What progressives have done what progressive stuff?
Well, like, I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a super progressive, which I guess is one of the things I'm worried about. Like, I know that like Obama like could have been a lot more progressive, but like he still increased spending, like with like the stimulus package and stuff. And
Okay, yeah, but I mean, I think what you have to, so stimulus package is a one-time expense, number one. So that would
mhm,
be, you're talking about how once you grow the budget, it's hard to cut it back down. And I agree with you, but then now you're giving an example of something that was a one-time stimulus, or they did,
yeah,
it was broken up into a couple of different things. I think that what you're maybe not accounting for here is that these are programs by and large which are widely supported by the American public. So imagine for a
mhm,
second, Bernie Sanders becomes president. He gets Medicare for all passed. It's paid for through the payroll tax that he has proposed, but on the back
mhm,
end, employers are no longer paying health insurance premiums to insurance companies. Co-pays go away, all of this different stuff. Okay, more or less, we're just replacing spending with spending from elsewhere. If a Republican president comes in after 4 years of that or 8 years of that and says, hey, we're cutting taxes and what we're going to stop paying for is that Medicare for all, the backlash would be insane, much the way that it's been insane, even trying to repeal Obamacare, which they haven't been able to do after dozens and dozens of attempts. So I think that your concern, it's not a crazy concern. It's just not in practice the way this would be played out. And it would be a terrible reason not to do progressive things because a Republican at some point in the future might try to cut the funding for it.
yeah, yeah. I would agree with that. It was just yeah. Thank you for taking my call, and yeah, I really appreciate you and your show for giving a
Thank you so
progressive
much.
view on
Really
things.
appreciate the phone call. Great to hear from Luke from the Bay Area. Good to hear from you. One of today's sponsors is Impeach the Card Slap Game. You can't slap Donald Trump in real life, but you can slap him in this hilarious, fast-paced two-player card game. And you can get it for 10% off when you go to davidpakman.com/impeach. Impeach the Card Game is awesome for parties or when you're having a few drinks. I've been playing it with some friends of mine. It combines clever satire about the Trump administration with really funny, high quality cartoon artwork, all in a very lively card game that's easy to learn, but it stays interesting every time you play it because of how well designed it is and how much thought went into the humor and the political commentary. Impeach the Card Slap game is perfect if you're looking for something fun and casual to do with your politically minded friends or family members. It'll make a perfect gift for anyone you know who has a sense of humor about Donald Trump. Don't forget that Father's Day is coming up. And when you go to davidpakman.com/impeach, not only will you get 10% off the game, you can also get 10% off all of the other hilarious clothing and accessories in their online store. T-shirts, coffee mugs, tote bags featuring funny political cartoons about Trump that you can't find anywhere else. Get a super fun, witty gift for yourself or someone you know, whether it's Impeach the Card Slap game or anything else in the gift shop, and get 10% off all of it when you go to davidpakman.com/impeach.